Okay, we can get started. Jeff Pinney, the athletic director, is not with us this evening, so the opening remarks fall on me and I'm not prepared at all. So you'll be hearing a lot of my voice later on in this evening, so I'll keep this short and sweet. I'd like to welcome everybody to the soccer banquet for 2021. Fabulous seasons for all three levels of the programme. This should be a wonderful evening, so many faces, and it's a way to celebrate our seniors and the entire programme. So the meals will be served, then we'll do our introductions of the teams and proceed through the programme that I think is on everybody's table. Are you sure you don't want to say anything, Molly? Katie? No? Okay, not yet. Okay, so enjoy your meals and we'll be back in about 30 minutes and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
I just wanted to get us rolling tonight. It's nice to see everybody. Hello, seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, parents, and coaches. Hi. All right. Are you going to come up with me? All right, if you don't know us already, Rachel Goldberg, Coach Jeff Osborne, and I just want to say thanks for coming tonight. This print is really small, I'm sorry. So anyway, hope you all had a really good Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed time with your family and friends, and I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that we were able to have quite a normal season as far as COVID was concerned. You know, dealing with the turf, being out of commission was a bit challenging, but in all honesty, builds character and adversity. So I think we managed just fine. With that, I want to just say a shout out to Jeff Pinney, who's not here, and Susan for helping us run things smoothly. Alex, who keeps us in check and takes care of the girls, ice, all that good stuff. I can't with those sunglasses. All right, so thank you parents for your support of your kids. You have great kids. The Booster Club for putting on such a great night tonight and all the events that, make this just, not just about soccer, it's about friendships and memories and things like that. So, thank you. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Probably because Sammy's just staring at me.
Why is Sammy in sunglasses?
I don't know. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, all right. So sorry. All right, here we go. Varsity. I mean, what a season, right? Of you. I mean, you should cherish these memories, reflect on them. You will remember this whole season for the rest of your life. I'm just so thrilled to have coached a lot of you. Seniors, I mean, how the heck are you seniors? You guys are like still babies to me. I've had the privilege of pretty much coaching all of you and getting to know all of you over the years has been like the best thing. You guys are great people, right? Not just soccer players. So parents, nice job. All right, I think I have, Steve. Hello? Oh, we're back. Oh, are we back? We're back. All right. I think that's like the proverbial hook. I don't know, but all right. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, all right. So Stephen.
Alright, we'll just improvise. Alright, so Steve and Shannon, congratulations to you both for your exceptional season. Guiding the varsity team to an amazing finale. An incredible season for the SHS girls program. I, without a doubt, appreciate your mentorship, your instincts, your insights, your leadership, your inclusion as coaches, but more importantly, the friendships as we mold these young kids into the game that we love. Thank you for your support of our sub-varsity model this year to strengthen. Our goal is to strengthen the program overall. Having the help of Coach Oz and Coach Zielman, we were able to spend more time with each player, focusing on building their basic skills and fitness levels with the larger combined practices. We did have some challenges with the smaller teams. The designated swing team allowed for more fluidity in our rosters. They played more soccer than they probably wanted, but I hope that they wanted. I mean, I would play that much soccer if I could. They got more touches on the ball, more time to improve in game-like situations, and I sincerely witnessed improvement in all those players by the time November rolled around. So Oz and Corey, thank you for assisting me in this season. I really enjoyed working more closely with you both. Having you there allowed for more individualized attention to the players, as well as we were able to implement different perspectives. And it definitely made my life much easier having you both there to help and manage all these girls. All right, so Captains Amelia and Ava and Sophie, thanks for your leadership on and off the field. Bansky, you were a treat to have as a manager. I haven't really had a manager. You kept us straight with your stats and timekeeping. I really appreciated this. You also, made it fun. So come on up and. All right, so thanks for bearing with me. I think I've thanked most everybody in this room, but lastly, I just want to mention, after coming off of an undefeated COVID season last year, our schedule was much more challenging this year. And my girls rose to every occasion, except maybe that first South Windsor game. I don't know. We ended in a tie, but gosh, I'm so mad. But we killed them in the rematch, right? 7-2. We were undefeated in the first half of our season. We faced our toughest competitors in the last half. We finished with 8 wins, 4 losses, 3 ties. All 4 losses were on the road. We held our opponents to 1 goal differential in each game, and we never gave up. Please work on shooting from now to August. Please, we gotta put more goals in this. Here's just a couple highlights. E.O. Smith, it was the longest ride ever. We were down 2 players to Steve. Okay. 8-inch long grass, blue lines. Like, what is that? Most aggressive players and verbally abusive parents I have ever. And I have to tell you, Lily, Melinda, and Emma are freaking tough. All right? It just was terrible, and they had 0 sportsmanship. Weathersfield, 3-2 on turf. We never play on turf. Windy. I lost my 1 keeper to Steve. 1 keeper was ill. 1 keeper played injured, came out, got taped. Cammie went in. Came back from behind. We worked so hard, but we just couldn't tie it up. But we persevered to the end. Glastonbury, 1-0. 1-0, oldest one yet, after playing 2 games in a row previous to this. So Friday, Weathersfield. Monday, Weathersfield, freshman play. Now we're Glastonbury. Overall, we were shooting more than them. It was an even, steady possession game. I changed the format on the fly mid-half. We fought hard to put goals in the net. I really thought we were going to tie it up. It played to the end when we in soccer. And in my book, the scoreboard did not reflect the game whatsoever. I had a lot of fun with this JV team. It felt normal. We had great bus rides and selfies and shin guard checks, and I'll just cherish this team for a long time. Our last practice was great, and thank you for letting this old lady play with you. It was a really fun time. Continue to work hard, play tough, but most of all, have fun. And maybe consider hurdling. It's great.
It works. So, good evening. This season was a very different season. Coach Goldberg and I pretty much combined our program and had a sub-varsity unit, and it was good. And it was more eyes on the girls, more evaluation, maybe more than the girls wanted throughout the season. But looking back, this season was my 7th as a soccer coach here. It's hard to believe at Simsbury. It's my 20th fall as coach overall. And now the mic's out. So really, I just would like to say, most importantly, I like to observe the growth of the athletes from 9th grade through 12th grade, and they come to my class in 11th and 12th grade, and they might compete on my track team, and it's a really special thing in Simsbury to see these girls go from 9th and 10th graders to on their way to college and beyond. So the one thing I have called sports at Simsbury for a long time is period 9. It's my favorite period of the day. You just get to go outside and get a little bit different aspect of the co-curricular academics at Simsbury. You get to run around and get the heart rate up, and I think it makes us all better people to be physically challenged each day. So I'd like to, just say to the varsity, to the thirds, to the JV team, I really appreciate the effort that you do, with school at Simsbury, tough academics, and then to go out and perform at practice and perform in games. So excellent to everybody. And for everybody, an excellent, hard-fought season. And for the varsity girls, I can understand it's a long season, making a playoff run. And I just thought your championship game, I was very happy to be on the sidelines at that game. And that's an experience you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So awesome, awesome, awesome. At this point, I'd like to thank Sadie Conway, my team manager. She did an excellent job this season. In every way, Sadie is a very responsible, organized, very caring young lady. Sadie, would you come up and accept a small token on our program's behalf? Thank you, Sadie. Also, the coaching staff, the relationships between us, the Coach Jarvis, the text chain, it's got a little soccer ball on it. When I see it pop up, I'm like, oh, here it goes. During COVID, Coach Jarvis, he got into the karate movie. What was that movie called? Cobra Kai. Constantly hearing about this, and then I get to the state championship game and I hear strike. Oh my gosh, you brought the whole thing with you. Very smart. What is it going to be next year, Coach Jarvis? But seriously, Coach Jarvis is a great role model to all of us. He sets short-term to long-term goals. I remember 4 years ago being a part of the previous staff and having the first meeting with Coach Jarvis in the library, and he said this is a 4-year plan and we'll be in the state championship game in 4 years. And I'm like, man, this guy, he's got the accent, let's see if we can do it. Next thing you know, state championship game 4 years later, so you can't beat that. With Coach Matizik, a wonderful, caring soccer coach, a great compliment to Coach Jarvis. So both of those varsity coaches, I'd like to thank you. Working with Coach Goldberg this year has been excellent. She's a great communicator, over-communicator probably, great organizer, very organized, and a great role model to the girls for sure, and to myself, great role model. And at this point, I'd like to recognize a new coach to our staff this year, Corey Zielman. And Corey specifically came out and helped me with the thirds team this fall. And she brought with her an excellent soccer pedigree, playing Ivy League soccer, and was an excellent resource, a former history teacher, so it was fun to talk about, shop a little bit in between drills, and just an excellent resource for us to have at the thirds level. Her positive energy and personality was a welcome addition to the program this fall. So Coach Zielman, would you come up and accept a small token, please? Thank you, Corey. And for our thirds team, the one thing you have to understand, I know when you're on the bottom, you're like, oh, how do I get to the top? But many of the girls sitting at this table, trust me, they all played with me. They played on my team, and the girls sitting here, and I see some of the varsity starters. You have to start somewhere, okay? And this season for us, we ended up with a 10-1-2 record, so we did have one loss, unfortunately. But we ended up outscoring our opponents 42-11, and most importantly at the thirds level, we improved tremendously. We matured as a team, and I'd just like to say thank you, girls. And at this point, we're going to start calling you all up. So just listen for your name, and we'll get going. Come up when you're called.
doesn't work.
Right, Nora Walsh.
Sarah.
Caitlin Burkett. Lawyer. Logan DePata. Sophia Figueroa. Emma Isaac. Sophia Moretta. Zia. Abby Wilson.
All right, at this point, we would like to call up Coach Jarvis.
Yeah, that's not that my voice wouldn't carry anyway. No, it's not working. So okay. It's working again. Are we on? All right. I won't touch. All right. Good evening, everybody. A big strike first, strike hard, and strike together to you all. I think this is about my 5th draft of my Banquet speech. For some reason, I had to keep editing it through November. Did you know that everyone here sitting tonight has one thing in common? You've only known me as the head coach of the Simsbury soccer program. I had a 3-year plan, not 4-year plan, but it was interrupted by COVID. Was to learn, to change, and implement ideas on how to improve the already fantastic Simsbury High School girls soccer program. A lot has happened over the past 4 years. When making decisions, I always consider what's best for the player, the team, and above all, the high school program itself. From a player's perspective, everyone is treated the same. Expectations are clearly communicated and the standards are set high. I take great pride in making sure I know everybody in the entire program. At a team level, you've already heard the records for the thirds and the JV team. Pretty amazing stuff. Congratulations to both. Specifically at the varsity level, it's about being successful and it's about winning. My tenure as the head coach has seen some wonderful achievements. A Class LL semi-final as a 19 seed, beating conference champions on the road, Region A finals, only to lose on PKs, and then finally, after many, many unbelievable moments this fall, saw the varsity team become runners-up in Class L. Interestingly enough, our last 3 tournament defeats were by schools of choice. I'm just saying.
The program itself, the introduction of the thirds team has provided an opportunity for players to continue to play at the high school level while instilling a much needed competitive element at the sub-varsity levels. What will the next 3 years bring? I honestly don't know. We'll wait and find out. Over our time together, we have, whether it be your first or fourth year with me, I'm continually in awe of my coaching staff. Coach Zielman, thank you for volunteering your time and helping connect the past with the present and SHS. Thank you. Coach Osborne, Coach Goldberg, many thanks for creating a brilliant environment for your players and helping me realize my vision for the girls soccer program. Thanks. Special recognition to Coach Shannon, absolutely wonderful coach and human being. I hope you realize how much the girls care and respect you. As for me, could not have gone through my time as a coach without you. You brought the best out of me as a coach and as a person, so I thank you for that. Booster Club members, all the subcommittees, what you've been able to achieve this year has been fantastic, and obviously celebrating the banquet is just a tip of the hat, so thank you for all of your support. Very nice bus rides to semi-finals and finals. I like that. Slideshow and the pictures, thank you Lisa Tennant, it's been wonderful to watch throughout the evening if you've been seeing in the background while you've been eating, so thank you Lisa. A big shout out to David Alcare. I want to thank you so much for your time and dedication for the past 3 years of recording all the games. You've gone above and beyond. I also want to say your rendition of the National Anthem is absolutely phenomenal. If you'd like to come up, we have a token of our appreciation for you. Every year when I stand before you all, I have to obviously thank my wife, my rock, my world, who puts up with me on a daily basis, which is not easy. But from August through November, I don't know how you do it because it really is soccer 24/7. I love you. All right, so part of my legacy as the head coach are my tremendous banquet speeches, obviously. Most memorably was the 2019 take on Notre Dame. So, back by popular demand, we're going to see if you can guess the question knowing the answer. So let me test it out, okay? This is an easy one. The answer is 12 seconds. So what is the question? How long was left? Okay, he scored against Massive, so it's that easy. Alright, our next answer. Okay, we got bus issues, turf field, lightning delay, and campus lockdown. What would the question be?
What is good?
Very good! Name 4 things that didn't stop the SHS varsity team from succeeding this year. Okay, there's a bit of a tough one. Again, this is the answer. Sheer terror, oh bleep. Bleep, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Oh, the tryouts where you sent the wrong email.
How did I react when realizing I sent the wrong email to some players when announcing the team rosters? I was wrong. The next answer. To be honest, coach, I would have preferred conceding a goal. To be honest, coach, I would have preferred conceding a goal. What was the question?
Now, the first words out of Molly's mouth.
What did Molly say after the Avon game? It was just so typical of Molly just to kind of phrase it and make light of the situation, but obviously it was devastating. So. Alright, a couple more. We've got an equation for you, for all you scientists, math majors. Okay, 5e plus 7. Answer is 5e plus 7. Okay, the question would be, in nanoseconds, write the formula for how much time was left in the Berlin game when Caroline scored her goal. 0.05 seconds on the scoreboard. By the way, you're supposed to wait until the game is finished before you rush on the field. We almost got like 20 yellow cards. And our last one. He really is a good guy, misunderstood, made some questionable decisions, but we forgive him and love him. Ready one more time? Really is a good guy, misunderstood, made some questionable decisions, but we forgive and love him. What's the question? I think so. The question would be, describe Johnny from Cobra Kai. If you've not seen it, you must watch it. Like up. Wait for me. Alright, the achievements and outstanding moments for the varsity team this year. It's not just about what we do on the field, it's about things that happen off the field. So we had 20 players who have earned all academic team. Congratulations to those 20. We had 14 clean sheets in 21 games. We had 12 goals conceded in 21 games. We were unbeaten through the first 14 games, 17 if you include pre-season. I had no idea about this one, but apparently at Glastonbury we were playing for the conference title. I did not know that. We played for the conference title. Our only losses were against, again remember we're an L school, we're only against double L and choice schools. Well done for that. The Northwest Catholic game at Curtis, I think we've started some kind of tradition because that was a pretty awesome experience. The team outing to Stu Leonard's after the Berlin win. The team support in the volleyball team in their semi-final was pretty cool. The team dinners, sleepover, bus rides, scavenger hunt, all good stuff. And then finally, again, our final record of 12, 3 and 6, Class L runners-up. Public school champs. Before I talk about the members of the varsity team, I want to thank the players who came up from the sub-varsity levels, Sophia F, Sophia L, Zia, Logan, Amelia, for your contributions to the varsity team this fall. Amelia in particular showed if you continue to work hard, you never know what can happen. And what a massive contribution you made to the varsity team's postseason success. So thank you to all. Okay, so I'd ask you again if I could just talk about the groups in general, and then obviously we'll speak one at a time about the seniors. The varsity team only had one freshman this year, and apparently Charlotte has offered to sing us a song this evening. Great first year, definitely going to be a hard act to follow the next three, but I know you're going to be a big part of the team's success. Charlotte Roberts. Next up is the varsity team's sensational sophomore class. All this group knows is winning. Thank you for bringing the winning mentality with you to SHS. OJ, 2 years down, it's been awesome watching you learn, mature, become a great teammate both on and off the field. Great header against Farmington. Yeah! Olivia Chandler, great goal versus Northwest Catholic, played a vital part in the midfield system used all fall. Ava, grew in confidence throughout the fall. Your displays were more assured with each passing game. Viv, what a beautiful assist you had against South Windsor. Absolutely superb. I look forward to watching more and more of those in coming years. And Gina, it's been 6 years and we're now reunited as a player and coach. Big things are expected from you in the next 2 years. Everyone please give a big hand to us. Double check to see some Venus stuff. It's there, we've seen it. Okay. Our junior group, this year was the year that brought you back to your teammates, the ones who you've been playing with since obviously your time at Simsbury Soccer Club, and what a terrific job you all did. So we just hold our applause while we call these players up. Abby Parr, always a smile on her face, a player who constantly wants to learn and improve as a player. We have Libby Tennant, will give everything she has on the field, always willing to go that extra inch for the team to be successful. We have Grace Myers, that goal against South Windsor, and that was good. I hope you realize that it was against the soon-to-be D1 keeper. She didn't have a chance to save it. And of course, there was that winning goal versus Hand. Sammy, I tested the waters with you last year about being a defender. I saw enough in you to try it again this year, and wow, absolutely fantastic. You thrived as a defender and were part of a magnificent defensive unit. Bryn, can't believe you never played defense before in your entire life. Some coaches go on and on about their proudest accomplishments, so I'll just say this. Watching you this fall has been an absolute pleasure. You made me look good. And that was some goal versus Avon. Howie, we've got total energizer. You just never stop running. You're a constant nuisance to the opposing players. I would absolutely hate to play against you. This fall, SHS saw the best in you as a player. Can't wait to see you next year. Reese, another great season in your SHS jersey. Your play as a defender is so much like a young Steve Jarvis, it's uncanny. We have even joked about how you make the game more challenging for yourself to keep things interesting. I totally get it. Super composed on the ball. Love to start the team's attack and willing to do all the nasty stuff defenders like to do. And finally, Caroline, your best season to date for SHS. The Cruyff turn should now be called the Madazik turn. You play with more confidence, believing in yourself as a player and your ability. I've watched you grow from being a role player to someone who leads by example. The junior group. Okay, and before both Caroline and Reese take a seat, I'd like to congratulate them publicly for becoming all-conference players and all. So now, time for the seniors. You've been with me since day one as my tenure as head coach, and now it comes time to say goodbye, but you'll never be forgotten. Together we've created many memories. There have been some tough times along the path we've traveled that have brought us here tonight. 9 stayed the course. These players have been part of memorable, unforgettable experiences. Your freshman year, part of your legacy. We needed to make sure the now thirds team got proper uniforms and an identity. Your sophomore year, you helped me through a devastating personal experience as I struggled to come to terms with the death of my father. For that, I am eternally grateful for you helping me become a better person and coach. As juniors, COVID hit. Let's just leave it at that. And now as seniors, you've inspired the current and next generation of SHS players and the entire Simsbury community. The 4 years you have given to this program will always be cherished. The first member of our senior group is someone I have a great deal of time and admiration for. She has experienced some very difficult events in her young life and has always been super positive and a smile on her face. Learning about where you were going to go to schools next year was incredibly exciting. Lots of positivity and things in your future are going to be like awesome. She's someone who loves soccer, and even though she didn't play in this fall, was still a part of the team's successes. One of the most dedicated team managers I've ever had the pleasure of working with, Jillian. Okay, this player has been a member of the varsity team for 2 years. It's funny looking back, there are always signs about the decisions people make and how they originated. You have the discipline to train every day, give everything, commit and be dependable. You were always ready to play at any moment, and this player could always be counted on when needed by me. Joining the Army clearly made sense. Tonight, as I reflect on your SHS soccer career, I want to celebrate your performance in the final last year against Northwest Catholic. It illustrated all of what I just mentioned and epitomized everything that is good about you. It also showed that your chosen career after you graduate is an excellent one. The Army is lucky to have you join their ranks. This player spent 3 years as a member of the varsity team. I'll never forget a cold, freezing night in Newtown. You stepped onto the field for the first time and drilled home a PK. And how about the leadership you showed versus E.O. Smith taking the first PK, setting the tone for the rest of the kicks? Just awesome. Maybe those moments were a little foreshadowing, a sign of your temperament and the decision you made about your future this past summer. It's really hard to put into words how appreciative I am as to how you conducted yourself as a player. You're an unsung star. You didn't let your playing time define you. You might not have been happy, but the respect you showed about the decisions was first class. Respect is earned, and I have to believe that this is one of the qualities the Navy looks for in an applicant. As a coach, I've learned from you. I admire you immensely, and it has been a pleasure to watch what an amazing individual you have become in our time together. Ellie. Most coaches panic. Coach Shannon certainly does. And I will also going forward during PK shootouts. But for the past 4 years, I've had the luxury of knowing the team would win with this keeper. I didn't think you would ever top your freshman year against Southington, but the semi-final versus E.L. Smith was truly outstanding. They just didn't stand a chance. Your PK stories will be told by me for many, many years to come. Legendary stuff. Your ability to save penalties doesn't define you as a keeper. Some of the saves you made this fall were out of this world. If Alyssa Nair had made that save in overtime versus E.L. Smith, they'd be showing it over and over again all over the sports networks. You're brave, agile, an unbelievable shot stopper. One thing that hasn't gotten noticed over the years is how you've embraced your role as part of the Keepers Union. I already told you OJ missed you at the Wethersfield game. The bond that you two have had and formed has been wonderful. She won't be the only job who'll miss you next year. There will never be another Maddie Brook. You are a one and only. I'm pleased to announce that Maddie was selected as an all-conference player.
Yeah!
I'm going to miss this. Trojans on 3. I still chuckle when this player asked Coach Shannon, does he know, referring to me, that I'm not left-footed? Yeah, I knew, but I trusted you to be able to play on the left-hand side of the 3-player defense last year. Over your time on the varsity team, your confidence has grown, and this fall you were a massive contributor to the team's success and unbelievable defense. What I've admired about you most over our time together is your determination to improve as a player. You always want feedback, and you took what was said to you and used it positively. A senior, you quietly led by example. You just got on with the job in hand, did what was asked of you, and always gave your very best effort. When provoked by an opponent, we all saw that tenacious side of you. Definitely someone you don't want to mess with. Thank you, Caitlin, and I wish you all the very best for the future. Our next senior is basically the player version of me as a coach. You want passion and you want intensity on the field. Well, this player has both in equal amounts and, as I found out, hates to lose. Thank goodness you only lost 5 times as a varsity player and 2 of them were in finals. The way you throw your body around the field, I can't believe it. I wonder if that's why you love playing rugby so much, because you legally get to hit those. You are the team's enforcer. If I ever needed someone to do a specific job, you were the player I always turned to, and were fantastic in that role. Players from Northwest Catholic, Farmington, E.O. Smith probably still have nightmares about playing against you. And I have to thank you for scoring the best goal of the season. Simsbury hadn't beaten Farmington at home in over 20 plus years until you scored this. Every team needs someone like you on it. When the going gets tough, when a job needs doing, when anything seems impossible, you always find a way to inspire your teammates to succeed. Alex, you will be surely missed next year. It's been a pleasure coaching you. Alex. Gonna miss saying your name next year. Such a cool nickname. Don't know who gave it to you. Your attitude towards life in general is just wonderful. Laid back and easygoing. Your personality gave the team perfect balance when needed. Your sense of humor, the ability to read situations, and knowing what to say at the appropriate time is priceless. But there's also a different side to you which was instilled in you growing up in a household with many brothers. As a player, you pick up things naturally, the little flicks, the fast footwork, movement off the ball, just a few things to mention about your ability as a forward. As a senior, I was really pleased to watch how you led the forward line and the connections you made with many strike partners this fall. Your goal versus Connaught was emphatic. The goals versus Bristol Central were brilliantly executed. I also enjoyed the tenacity you showed when winning the PK versus Joel Barlow. Chappie, it's been a great journey these past 3 years with you as a varsity player. I want to thank you for everything and good luck in the future. I'm beginning to sense that maybe I am the favourite after all. Alright, your level of play the second half of the season was absolutely amazing. You owned the attacking mid role. I honestly believe that tweaking the formation and letting you loose in that position transformed the team's offense. It was instantaneous. Just like that, you scored versus Berlin. But what about the goal versus Glastonbury? I mean, Messi was wearing the Simsbury number 4 jersey that day. How could you top that goal? Jeez, I wonder. What I remember the most about the Massic game was you asked me to play forward at half time, but I'd already made that decision because you were basically on fire that game and nothing was going to stop you. I do wish you not wait until 12 seconds. But what a memory you created that night for everybody here in this room, the team, anyone who was present at that game. Again, I played the Instagram, the clip, and everything. It's just basically going to go down. Your work rate defensively to shut down teams, the amount of headers you've won from throw-ins, all the little things you didn't go unnoticed. You've led the team in many different ways, quietly, sternly, fiercely. I very much enjoyed getting to know you at a personal level this fall, and your personality was a perfect fit to lead this team. Katie was also voted all conference. It's a tough one. I apologise if I get emotional, but it is what it is. Soccer players, families come and go. Some stay in touch. Some you stay in touch with, others you don't. Many leaving a lasting impression on the life of a coach, no more so than this player. I'll be honest, as a freshman, I didn't really know who you were as I was trying to survive tryouts for 85 plus players. I knew you were made JV as a freshman, so obviously had the potential to become a varsity player as a sophomore. The following year, I remember Dad had to scramble to get your cleats over to Curtis because you'd forgotten them, so you could take part in the scrummage that ultimately would decide your roster placement. Congrats, you made the varsity team. The coaches liked what we'd seen, and it meant that you were going to be part of that group. It was a tough sophomore year. Easily my most difficult as a coach, but what you wore to practice always made me smile. Between you and Grace Melanson, I always wondered if you got dressed for practice in the dark. I'll never forget the reaction at Farmington when I asked if you were ready to go in. Who, me, replied. It was the first real test at the varsity level and you played great. Your junior year, when you scored what turned out to be your only goal at the varsity level, filled everyone with joy and happiness as we watched you celebrate. Little did we know that there was a story behind all your soccer achievements at SHS until your senior year. Parents and players, it will be difficult to top what this player wrote in her captain's application and what she said in the interview. The words, the demeanor, the poise, the absolute charming personality of this individual was amazing. I challenge anyone in this room to spend 5 minutes with this person and not end up liking her. Molly, you have a gift. And now that brings us to this fall. The Jarvis jinx struck once again. 4 years as an SHS coach, every year an ACL. It's cruel what happened to you and all the other girls. I know, just like that second mouse, you will keep swimming and turn this episode of your life into butter. She knows. Despite not being able to play, you've been the team's rock and the top fan on the sidelines. You provided laughter when it was needed the most. And I don't think customers at Stu Leonard's I've ever seen such a sight as Chappie wheeling you around the store inside one of the carts. Molly, you are an absolute legend. I'm grateful that I had a chance to get to know you. Promise me that you'll stay in touch. Molly Walsh. Ladies, I believe I'm turning over to Katie and Molly, is that correct?
I'm going to
sorry.
No, you need to sit down. Sorry, we have one more.
Okay. Lisa, come on up. Roll the pictures.
For a little bit, I have fellow coaches with me to just help me out for a second. So if you turn over your program, I just want you to see, if you haven't already, I mean you don't have to. Coach Jarvis was named Class L Coach of the Year. So we just, as fellow coaches, we just wanted to congratulate him and just acknowledge it. I think it's appropriate. Sorry, we will be very brief. But I've coached over probably 15 years, and I've coached with probably upwards of 5, 6 head coaches. Coach Jarvis has the passion. Every coach has passion, but what he has is the ability to just pair his passion with knowledge, and he not only helps us help him, but I feel like it has the ability to like make game time decisions. He takes formations. He does. His practices, his game plans, his ability to literally take every girl's ability and talent and just stick them together like a puzzle piece. And I feel like it's a gift. And I'm so happy that he was named Coach of the Year. I think it's well deserved.
Come on up.
Every practice when it got cold, he wore a beanie hat. Oh my God. And the girls, we said his beanie hat. So the girls called him Dopey. And so on the back, we know you wouldn't win keeping as a coach of the year, so we put COY 2020. Stick River Packers. We do a selfie every year. Selfie every year.
Alright, so we do this every year. Juniors are going to give superlatives to the seniors and then seniors to the juniors. So we're Oh, it's not working. Okay. I'll just yell. Okay, so my sister is Katie, and this season she was a very important asset to our team. Katie is not only my sister in soccer, but she's also my sister in lacrosse, so that's pretty cool. I know Katie always has my back on and off the field, and that's exactly what sisters are all about. She was an amazing captain and definitely knew how to make everyone in the locker room hyped for our games. Go home with her pre-season game speeches. Pre-game speeches, not pre-season. She is a leader and someone we can count on, obviously in the last 4 seconds of the quarterfinal game. She's an extremely hard worker, and we can always count on her to hustle to everything she does, including the 10-minute runs. Thanks for those, Coach, by the way. Anyways, so if you've ever if you've ever watched Katie when anything exciting happens, like at all, she expresses like that excitement. She's like, really random. And that's why your superlative is best celebration.
So my sister was Molly. Molly, for the past 2 years I've been playing soccer with you. I can confidently say that I've never met a more kind, positive, and genuine person. Whether it is at practice, a game, on the field, or off the field, your voice is always heard cheering on and encouraging your teammates. You fit the exact description of a captain. You show up, support, and encourage your team no matter what. You have always made everyone on the team feel so welcome and have united us around our goal of being the best we can possibly be. Not only are you an amazing captain, but you are also an amazing sister. Whenever I'm with you, I always have a blast. Whether it's joking around on the sidelines, helping arrange the gross foods for your scavenger hunt, or taking videos of you being pushed around in the shopping cart. I can't believe the soccer season is already over, but I'm so lucky to have my soccer sister around next year and for the rest of my life. That's why your superlative is most likely to always find the side.
Okay, my sister was Mackenzie, also known as my professional hair braider, and Jackie, Chap, Kenzie, Ken. Coach once said like Matt or something. She literally braided my hair every single game. Like I don't think we missed a game ever. So I could always count on her, whether it was in the locker room or in the bus, and it's like all over the place. She would always be happy to do it, and during the games, she would always be composed and able to just have her first touch the goal. She's so determined on the field and finishes every chance she has. Off the field, she's one of the loudest singers on the bus, getting us hyped before and after games. She finds a positive in every situation, and I always feel reassured when I'm playing with her. Especially in the PKs, I literally felt like I was going to throw up. So I remember her saying, "You got it," when I was going, and that just gave me the confidence I needed. Her fun personality is so contagious. She's just always laughing and smiling. At practice, when she was making fun of Coach's beanie, I remember her laughing, and I just started laughing. I didn't really realize what was going on. And
you somehow know how to make everything funny. For example, your stories. They're hilarious. I don't know how you do it, but somehow you can make them interesting for hours. I honestly would love to know how much time me and Burrow spent after late night practices just sitting and her telling me stories. Those nights and listening to them were ones I'll remember forever. I lost my place. Okay. Now, when the team found out about your story, at Alex's house, they were intrigued. We were there till 9 o'clock, listening to you talk about things like chino pants and photo and anything else you could possibly think of. That moment really brought the team together and made everyone closer than we already were. So that's why you're Superlative's best storyteller.
Okay, Madeline, I was recruited to give this speech today. I really hope that I can do you justice, but I'm also really glad to have this opportunity to talk about you because I've actually looked up to you for a long time. All through travel, I played goalie, and I'm super thankful that I don't anymore because I really would not want to have to follow in those giant footsteps. Good luck, OJ. I always knew you were really good, but it was not until I got to play with you that I fully understood how much you do for this team. I feel really lucky that I got the opportunity to play with you because you are just absolutely insane. I don't understand how a person could punch a shot out while falling backwards, but you did that against Leo Smith, and you didn't stop there. You went on to save those PKs one after another, and it was just so fun to watch you. I'm also grateful that I got the opportunity to play with you and not against you, because I just can't imagine how people do that. Even in the short time that I have gotten to play with you, I've seen you just give everything and you play with so much heart. You put yourself in uncomfortable situations and you really just don't seem to worry about the consequences that you yourself will face. So for that reason, your superlative is best person to go into battle with. Is most likely to be the most beautiful. My soccer sister was Ellie, and the season was ending, our tournament was getting closer, and at this particular practice, we had some fun and played soccer tennis. In order to start the game, every team needed a good server to kick the ball around 40 yards to make it hard for the other team to receive the serve. Of course, Ellie was her team server because if you had seen her in her pregame warm-ups, her kicks would not only go really far, but they were really high and powerful. Since Ellie was her team server, it wasn't great for my team or the other team, of course, because Ellie's serves always managed to end up very close to the other team's boundary line, making it extremely difficult to return the ball to the other side and score a point. That
night, Ellie had served the ball close to 15 times in a row before any of us could receive her serves and successfully return the ball to get her team out. Throughout the season, all of us had seen Ellie's incredibly powerful kicks and have been amazed by each of them. Tonight, it's important to recognize Ellie for having the strongest kick.
Hey, everyone. Sammy and I had the great honor to have Alex as our soccer sister this fall. I think we can all agree that no matter what sport you're playing, you want Alex as your team. She certainly is all heart and hustle, whether that be in games, practices, or playing football with OJ during team ditches. She is such an important part of our team, not only because of her playing contributions, but because her energy and hustle inspires the team to work harder. The one thing you definitely don't want is to play against Alex, because she will run you over. I mean, honestly, I feel bad for Mason from Northwest Catholic because she had to deal with Alex for 2 years, and she even got scored on by Alex in the championship game. I think it is clear that Alex isn't afraid of a little pushing on the field. In fact, she is the one we rely on to put the other team in her place. For this reason, Alex Superlative is the person we would want to bring as a backup to a fight.
This season as a team, we had the privilege of having Jill be our manager. She was always so nice and outgoing and would always do the best job. She was our biggest cheerleader on the sidelines and would always be so supportive. For example, when I was watching some of the film back from the Berlin game, I noticed Jill on the sidelines when I scored, literally jumping up and down in the sideline with both arms in the air, like running down the sideline because she was so happy for us. Not only does she help us as a team bring home wins, but I know she's an asset because they're to the coaches, because she helps beat the book tallies and all the stats. On behalf of the team, I cannot say thank you enough for what you have done for us. So therefore, you are our number one supporter.
Yeah.
Alright, so having Libby as my sister this season has really been such a joy. I think we've meshed really well, and from crazy Walmart outfits to just everything that we've been through together this season. It's been a pleasure. I will say, however, one of my favorite things has been gradually watching as during our pregame warm-ups as all the forwards go to the edge of the box, rifle shots. It's been I suppose intimidating, I would say, to see how your shot has gotten a lot harder, a lot faster. So purely coincidentally, because of that, I said you were most likely to tear a hole in the back of the net.
So, I was able to have OJ and Ava
but as my two sisters, it was fun. They've got to be two of my favorite sophomores. They're so much fun to be But, as we all know, Ava's a very nice player, but sometimes she's a little too nice. So that's why I'm going to give her most likely to say sorry after someone else runs this. And OJ, at every team dinner, she's always like, "Is there football anywhere? Where's the football?" And then at the Granby scrimmage or at the start of the season, she finds a football and she just took it. So that's why I'm giving OJ most likely to quit soccer for football.
We all know, we can all say this, Abby always comes to practice and games with the perfect ponytail, like perfectly straight. Her hair wrap is like no wrinkles in, like perfect. So Abby's superlative is best ponytail. Someone who was pulled up from JV this year, this player ended up starting a bunch of the games, especially in states, and when coach told her that she would be starting, she had like a blank face. So Amelia's superlative is most likely to be super calm when she's told she's starting multiple states games.
Alright, so this player is always smiling. Every time I had conversations with other teammates and looked over at her, she was just sitting there smiling. There were times where she would just look at me, didn't know what we were talking about, and she's just smiling. So, this player's smile never fails to make me smile, and that's why the best smile award goes to Kobe. This sophomore is small, but an absolute unit. Two don't hold our ground and fight back. So she decided to go on the attack. I looked over and this really tall girl from Zielman on the ground, about to cry. So that's why the most likely to knock a player out on the field goes to Vivian. Right in front of the net. Her accuracy in the midfield is consistent in both practice and the game. She's definitely one of the players that I'm going to miss the most when I leave. And that's why the most likely to get assist goes to Caitlin. Let her finish. Goes to Caitlin Howard.
Okay, so as we know, one of my sisters is Caroline. And so Caroline always is eating. I was talking to Coach and I was like, does she always eat this much? She was like, yes, she eats way more than her brothers. So there was one time before the bus, she just pulled out a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, on the bus. I was like, okay. And then before the game, she's just reaching into her bag, eating goldfish. And then we're in the locker room and she just pulls out an applesauce. Oh my God. So Caroline is most likely to come off the field and eat a sandwich. My other sister, I wanted to be my sister since she joined the team. When she was a freshman, I was a junior, so I didn't get to choose, and Shannon Zielman took her from me. But she is one of my favorite people ever, and when she's running down the field, I can just hear, "Play me, give me the ball, I'm open, ball," and you don't think that would come from someone so small. It's crazy. So Liv is most likely to be the loudest one.
It's like it's supposed to be hard. And then there's this one player who is flying up and down the field every time. And we're all just like, what are you doing? Chill. Anyways, so the superlative for literally going the extra mile goes to Zia. So, one of my sisters this year is not the tallest player on the field, but that's okay, except she has to defend some of the larger players sometimes, which gets interesting because they will just try to run through her. But she always pops right back up, and even if maybe she just stay down for a minute. But you know, she can keep taking hits and just keep getting back up. So the award for best ability to take a hit goes to Samantha. My other sister is not as short, and she uses her height to her advantage on the field because every time we have a corner specifically, you'll see Reese, she's lining up and she's going in for that header, or on defense, you know, we'll just see her just pop through and all of a sudden the ball's out of half field. So the award for the strongest skull goes to Reese.
Okay, so this is for Charlotte. So Charlotte was like playing a bunch of positions this year, you know, center D, outside D, midfield. But you know, while she's running around during the full game, you always know where she is because she has those bright orange cleats. You could like see it from like a mile away. So Charlotte gets best cleats. Oh my god. Sorry, I didn't know we're supposed to hide it. So Bryn, a big role she had on the team was like taking every single kick. Like she takes free kicks, corner kicks, she does kickoff, she does a PK, because she has a really good foot. And like when the ball would go back to her on defense, like I would already start running on forward because I knew it would go like over the D's head. So she also had a really good half field goal at Avon that she literally kicked from half field and went over Blue's head. So her superlative is most likely to score from half field.
So one of my sisters was Gina, and so we're neighbors, kind of, we live really close. So we'd always carpool home from team dinners and stuff, and usually in the car you'd talk about like random stuff, like music or homework. And sometimes I would say stuff and it just wouldn't be funny, but she would laugh. I don't know if it's just because she like, I don't know. So that's why she got most likely to laugh at a joke that's not funny. And my other sister is Grace. And every time I see Grace, no matter where I am, hallways are super crowded and I'm taking a picture of Grace and Caroline on my camera, and there's like people have to like part the way. I always see Grace and she's always in the best mood ever, always complimenting me and making me so happy even when I'm having a bad day. So that's why Grace is most likely to be named nicest person in the world.
Alright, so admittedly writing this speech took me a lot longer than it should have. It was much more difficult than it should have been because contrary to what many might think, soccer and I have had a very long, very complicated relationship. It all started way back in 2008 when I first stepped on the soccer field. Initially, I started off very confused and refused to leave one corner of the field for no reason. I got the point. Following in my sister's footsteps, by the time I was 8, I had started my club career in soccer. I loved that sport with my whole 8-year-old self and then some. But after my family and I moved, I left that love behind and refused to play or even talk about soccer. Lucky for me, our realtor's husband just so happened to be married to a coach at a little club in Farmington. At that point, I didn't have a choice but to go and at least try it out. I'm not sure what it was about those dim lights and the baseball nets that everyone has tripped over that reminded me why I loved the game so much, but I'm thankful it did. 8 more years, I carried that passion with me through everything and gave this sport all I had. My love for soccer peaked my freshman year of high school. I spent my winter and summer breaks at college camps and getting in contact with admittedly pretty good schools. It all quickly changed once again, however, in the winter and spring of my sophomore year, when some fairly terrible coaching experience at my club, with some major life changes, derailed my passion, and I quit. I can't say I regret it looking back now, but easily, without question, it was the hardest choice I have ever had to make in my life. How could I stop doing something that I once loved so much? But I did. I will say, however, even with how COVID has affected our last season, and even with how chaotic a senior-sophomore year season was, I've always been reminded of why I do, in fact, love this sport while on this team. Every day of practice, every bus ride, every game, I suppose all of that to say that this is a massive thank you to all of you. Thank you for all the good times, and even the bad ones, because you know, we got a whole lot of this year. Aww.
Let's see how this goes. Two seconds.
Oh, no.
So, I'll start with the part that isn't written. Wow, 4 years ago, Coach Jarvis decided, hey, let me throw in that freshman from the freshman team in a double PK shootout. That sounds like a good idea. God, he was like, Maddie, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, I was scared. I was so scared, but I'm like, I'm gonna pretend I'm not. So I went in, and let me tell you, I don't remember a damn thing about it. Like the adrenaline rush, I'm like, oh my God, I'm really doing this, aren't I? Yeah, thank you for that. But that luckily led me to where I am today with this team right here. And without that, I would have never experienced the E.O. Smith PK shootout, or the Northwest shootout, or the Southington shootout, or the Newtown shootout. There was a lot of PK shootouts. It takes a toll on you. I'm not really looking forward to more in college, so hopefully I can leave these in my high school. But I do want to say a huge thank you to the girls I played with this season for making it the best senior year it could have been. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with you. For the seniors, for some of you that I've known since elementary school on the Stingers soccer team, oh, it's going to be so hard to leave you guys behind. I have had KB as my defenseman for 8 years now, and to go on to college without her is going to be really, really difficult. So I'm definitely going to miss that. And thank you to all of you who I've made phenomenal friends with. It's been one hell of a ride, and I'm going to miss every second of it. And to my parents. Let's get through this without crying. Can you believe it's all over? The car rides, the temper tantrums at the end of games, everything. much for me, and I appreciate all of it. Thank you for being my biggest supporters, and I love you. Thank you, Coach Oz, Rachel, Jarvis, and Shannon. It has been an amazing 4 years. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with a different staff. Guys, my phone went both. I just improvised that whole thing. I'm not gonna brag.
Alright. What a season it's been. We started off with a winning streak and an incredible record of clean sheets and ended up making it to the championship. Time really does fly. To the team, I am so grateful for all the girls and the memories I've made here. This is one of the best teams that we've had in a while, and I believe that's what got us to the championship. I know that the chemistry and friendship we've developed is what kept our amazing record and what ultimately brought us to build the stadium. The support we have for each other on and off the field is unmatched, and I am so appreciative of that. To Coach Shannon, thank you for always being there when I have questions about positioning, or just being there when I seem down. I know you always have my back, even though you constantly stand in front of me on the pitch. To Coach Jarvis, I have become a much better player under your guidance. I see the field better, have gotten different perspectives on the game, and ultimately have greatly improved. You have been there when I haven't played my best, and you helped me through it. But your overall message to the team about being one unified team is the best lesson you've taught me in the past 2 years. Finally, to my dad. From the time I was 6 to now, you have been my biggest supporter. You have been there for me through hard tournaments, losses of big games, and overall sport frustrations. The 6 years you coached me, and many of the girls up here have brought me to where I am today, and I know I would not have been able to make it this far without you. All the pre-game talks in the world could never have prepared me for this moment. You will always be my coach, but more importantly, you will always be my dad. Thank you to the Simsbury soccer program as a whole. It's been a good ride.
I'm already on like the verge of tears, but it's okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I want to start off by thanking my family for supporting my soccer journey, the coaches, and I especially want to thank my teammates. Not only do I want to thank you for a memorable season, but I want to thank you for making my return home this summer that much easier. The moment I stepped on the field, not having touched the ball all summer, I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do? Awful. I was so nervous, not only about soccer, but about how I would connect with the players I haven't seen in months. But you guys made me feel as if I had never left. On top of that, right at the beginning of the season, I ended up getting a concussion during a walkthrough practice. Bring Bailey games. I mean, we all send your kids. You did that. I was kind of lucky that I didn't get knocked out. But after that, every time we've done walkthroughs for corners, we have never fully executed. And I'm guessing that's probably my fault. But after I got hurt, you guys continued to support me, always asking me how I was and if I was going to get back to playing soon. While the season may not have gone exactly how I wanted it to go, I couldn't have asked for a better team by my side. I'll miss my keep-away group during the beginning of games, my soccer sisters, Viv and Howie, and my senior class. I will truly miss each and every one of you. From late night practices to 4-hour-long team dinners, I will cherish every moment of it. Thank you for making my last year of high school soccer one I'll never forget.
I'm not sad that it's over. I'm happy that it happened. That is the mindset that I went into this season. With every moment I had this year, I tried not to think about how I was getting closer to the end, but I tried to think about the memories that I was making and the people I was with. Soccer is that sport I feel like every parent puts their kid into when they're 5, just to see them go out and have some fun. It's obvious that these 7 girls next to me weren't just out there to have fun, but they're out there because we all instantly fell in love with them. The journey from when I was 5 to now has been the greatest experience of my life. Seeing the same girls in this room that I was running around with when I was 5 years old is why I played this sport. Everyone that plays soccer immediately loves it. Madeline, Caitlin, and I have been with each other every step of the way since we were 9 years old when we made the Stingers travel. Soon after, Alex joined the squad, and Madison came and went with FSA, but she was always considered family. The Stingers team was inseparable, and we still talk about the memories we made today. Soon after that, there was word that there was another small blonde girl moving to town. We found out that she was in our grade, but she was in 03, so she got to play with the older girls her first year. Because of this, I thought Katie was elite. She amazes me with how athletic she is, and I'm honestly not mad when people mistake me for her because it's like a compliment. It's crazy that I've known these girls since we were 9 years old and we're all 17 and 18 in this room. I can speak for all of us that we were so intimidated when we saw Ellie walk into preseason this summer. Oh my God, is that the new girl? She's so much taller than us. She looks so good. Are probably the exact words that came out of our mouths. Undoubtedly, this is the best group of seniors that I could ask for, and I've made some of the best memories with them that I will cherish forever. Milky, no, I didn't forget about her. Molly, also known as Milky, is the type of person that everyone needs in their life. If a torn ACL doesn't stop her from being happy around others, then I don't know what can. When Molly was on the ground after falling, all I could think in my head was, oh, that can't be Molly. Molly doesn't go down. Not only because she was a great player and the toughest person I know, but because we had been dreaming for this season since we were just freshmen, and I knew she wouldn't let it be over so fast. But it wasn't over, and it had just begun, even if it wasn't how we had imagined. The days that followed when Molly couldn't be with us at practice were some of the hardest days ever. I felt like something was missing. And I can't wait to see you touch the ice better than ever. To my soccer buddy, hockey buddy, bus buddy, and most importantly, my best friend, never lose your sparkle because you make me a better person. Okay, she's over with. Now I'm good. Not only was this the best group of seniors, but this team holds a special place in my heart. I never really knew what it was like having a sister, but this year I got to have 21 of them. It was like a dream come true. To the juniors, be the best leaders you can be next year. Get along with each other, be a good example. Be a good example, and most importantly, have fun your senior season because it goes by fast. To the sophomores, you all have such bright futures in your soccer careers, and I can't wait to go back and see what you guys have become. And to Charlotte, our freshman, I hope the seniors gave you the freshman year that you had hoped for because you lived the dream. It is every girl's dream to be the only freshman on the first team. And I'm so excited to see what you do in your next 3 years. I'm so thankful for everyone on this team, including the amazing coaches I've had along the way. Coach Shannon,
Thank you so much for everything you have done for me these past 3 years. You truly made me a better person, and I want to be like you. Coach Rachel, you've made me the player that I am today from freshman year, and I'm forever grateful for that. Coach Jarvis, you always say that you take at least one freshman. You've said that multiple times this year. But I think you forgot our year. Because I remember the exact words, I don't take freshmen. I think about that every single time. Anyways, you're an amazing coach and always made me so excited to come to practice. I know thank yous can get repetitive, but there are not enough thank yous in this world for my mom. She has been my biggest supporter from day one, even if she has no idea what's going on. So thank you to my mom, who was always making me pre-game snacks, always made sure my uniform was clean, and for driving me all over the place to get to games and practice. You truly are my hero. The bond that I have with my dad over sports is indescribable. Dad, I wish we could have just one more after game talk where you say I should have taken the shot, not hit the side of the net. And I did the thing where I say I agree and I'll do it next time, but I won't. Thank you for being my rock and always encouraging me to do my best. My grandparents are not here, but I cannot forget my number one fans. I don't know how they still manage to be at every single game, but I'm beyond grateful for that. Finally, I love you all conditionally, and I'll always remember the memories that made you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, let's get into it. I will never play soccer for Simsbury High School again. There is no next year. There isn't even a next game, a next scrimmage, a next practice, a next team dinner, a next anything. It's done. It's over. That is a really difficult concept to consider and even harder to say out loud. I would run 1,000-man U's if it meant I could go back to the beginning of this season, or my high school career, or travel soccer, or even all the way back to the rec days on the blue piranhas with my dad as a coach. But we can't go back, which means all that's left is to be grateful. The pain of knowing that it's over only exists because the experience itself was so beautiful and so exhilarating. So I can only appreciate all of this, everything that was given to me by others. Thank you, Coach Schuler. Thank you, Coach Schuler, Coach DeCanter, and Coach Ken for making the singers function even when we all wanted to kill each other sometimes. It was great. It was great. Thank you, Nate and Blake, for practicing and working out with me in the summer, coming to all of my games, and specifically to Blake for being a fall girl for almost all of our state games, including the finals. Thank you, Riley, for being the ultimate role model, for pushing me to work harder every day to match your dedication and tenacity. Thank you, Samantha and Reese, for being the most fun group of sisters and for doing the inconvenient dress-ups without too much complaining. Thank you, OJ, Gina, and Molly for coordinating cheers with me on the sideline, or at least trying to. Thank you, Katie and Molly, for being proficient, confident leaders and the nicest possible captains the team could have asked for, and for winning almost all the coin tosses. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for coming to my games, making me food, signing me up for soccer in the first place, coaching me, listening to me complain, except I never complained. I never. Don't worry. For everything. Thank you to the ref in my travel cup game for giving me my first yellow card. And thank you to the ref when we played Bristol Eastern for giving my last yellow card. And thank you to any other ref ever for somehow not giving me a yellow card. Thank you to the Farmington defender who kicked the ball right at me so I could score by just running directly into the goal. Thank you, Daniel Handemassick, for winning upsets so we could beat them immediately. Not our home field. Thank you, Coach Oz and Coach Rachel, for helping me grow into the player and the person I am today. Thank you, Coach Shannon, for keeping the team focused and cooperative throughout this year, like with our little circle time, and also for never being late even once. Never, not at all. Thank you, Coach Jarvis, for being responsible for me owning multiple pairs of Cobra Kai socks. I have not watched the show. And most importantly, I want to thank this team. We achieved some incredible feats this year on the field, but I have never been part of such a cohesive, unified, and overall just fun group of soccer players. Like I said before, it sucks so much that it's over, but if it wasn't as wonderful as you all made it, it wouldn't hurt so much. So thanks for making this harder.
I've known soccer longer than I've known how to ride a bike, longer than I've been able to do addition, longer than I've known any other sport. Soccer has been with me through 80% of my life, and it's been so much more than a game. It's been an outlet every day during the season, from homework and stress, a way to see friends and create bonds with girls I may not have gotten to know otherwise. I remember my first day of Simsbury soccer at the end of 5th grade. I did live in Simsbury, but I knew I was moving, so my mom drove me an hour and a half from New Canaan to attend tryouts. She told me to wear a bright neon shirt so I could stand out to the coaches. I remember the stations on Curtis C. We all had our own pennies with numbers. Alex had a bubble-wrapped cast on her wrist. Kenzie was the other short blonde girl that everyone seemed to know. Madeline, the goalie that scrambled for every ball. The soccer girls were the first girls I ever met from Simsbury. This year, when we had our last practice on Curtis, and Coach had us reflect on our Curtis memories, this day is what I was thinking of. And I'm so glad I've been able to be a part of this program with the amazing families, coaches, and teammates I've been able to meet. This was such an easy team to be a captain of. Everyone was ready to play and work, and respectful to Molly and I and to each other. We all got along in practice, games, at dinners, and team events. Hearing other teams yell at each other during games, the Joel Barlow captain telling her defender, "Every time you touch the ball, it's a goal for them." Or the massive girls screaming at each other on a throw-in. It really made me appreciate our team and how well we played together. Out of 14 years of soccer, this season was just the most fun I've had playing on a soccer team. And it's not only because of our great record or our tournament run, but also because of the girls and our great team chemistry. Like all senior speeches, I have a ton of thank yous I want to say. I want to thank all of my teams, my elementary and preschool rec team, coached by my mom, the Stingers who welcomed me when I didn't know anybody in 6th grade, my 1 year on Fusion with Coach Zielman, the JV team with Coach Goldberg, and all of my varsity teammates for the past 3 years. I want to thank Alex for being my warm-up partner and and for repeating what I call out in warm-ups when I don't say it loud enough. I want to thank the best pregame keepaway group, Madison, Kenzie, Libby, Charlotte, Grace, Viv. I want to thank Caitlin Bruno for making the perfect long ball to me at the end of the massive game. I want to thank Molly for being an amazing co-captain, and improvising motivational words to the team with me in the locker room before games. I want to thank Mr. Alkire for filming all of our games and beautifully singing the National Anthem. I would constantly refresh his YouTube channel during the school day to see if he posted the film from the night before, so I could watch it during class. Not like I wasn't doing work or anything. I'd like to thank Mr. Palmer for saying that was a close one. Loudspeaker when other teams almost scored on us. I want to thank all of my teammates and the seniors for being an amazing group of girls and friends. You all made soccer so much fun. I want to thank my parents for coming to my games my whole life and always supporting and encouraging me. My dad, who gives me his best soccer advice after games when I know his soccer knowledge is very limited. And my mom, who never lets me forget her glory days when her soccer team state champions at SHS. Literally, when I told her, when she read this line in my speech, she told me to add that they won 2 championships. I want to thank Coach Jarvis and Coach Matizik for believing in me as a player and a captain, and for repeatedly telling the team that we would make it to the championship to cause all of us to believe it as well. And I want to thank everyone who has supported me and helped me become more confident as a soccer player and as a person. I have so many amazing memories from this year that will stick with me
Berlin with Caroline's last second goal, and then going to Stu Leonard's to get ice cream. Finally beating Northwest Catholic at Curtis with all the younger soccer players watching us. All of our team dinners and the team sleepover when OJ went to bed at like 9:30 in the morning. Waiting an hour and a half for a South Windsor bus that never came. I think we also saw a bus catch on fire in like the parking lot. Molly and my coin flip journey. We lost almost every coin flip at the beginning of the season. It was a running joke because we were so bad at it. And then when the tournament started, we literally won every single coin toss. The Joel Barlow coin flip, Massick coin flip, Daniel Hand coin flip, all three E.O. Smith, before the game, the overtime, the PK coin flip. And we told the team about this, and it was like winning the coin flip was our good luck charm. And then we lost the coin flip at the championship game for the first time in the tournament. And Molly and I didn't want to get everyone's hopes down, so we lied and told everyone. That is to go out on that any of us could have asked for. But we didn't win our final game. We made soccer season last as long as it possibly could. And I want to thank the whole team and coaches for having the drive to go all the way in the tournament. I never heard one person complain or say that the season was dragging on. I loved coming into the locker room for 3 straight games saying it was our last home game. Or having 2 more bus rides after we rode home from Glastonbury thinking it would be our last time on the bus together. The sport that has been with me for 80% of my life has finally come to an end. But for all you returners, it hasn't. The only advice I have is pretty simple. Make the most of soccer, no matter how many years you have left. Give 100% at every practice and every game. And I already know you guys will be back in the finals, winning next year, maybe having a rematch with St. Joe's. And I'll be following the whole thing on Trojan Mall Instagram from college, cheering you guys on. Little did I know how much of a challenge it would be. I've always been an emotional person.
life isn't fair. I tried to quit, but my dad told me I'd be the star of the rec team, and to remember that I played soccer because I love the sport. Take 2. 6th grade, I made the B team. You would think I would be ecstatic that I had made the team with Jeff, but I wasn't. Now I was telling myself that there was no way the girls on the A team were good. But that was out of my control. I joined the B team, and I had the best coach ever. Coach, he noticed, but no one else did it, me as a soccer. He took me under his wing, and would not let since first soccer get the best. But the spring of 6th grade, I had hope. Something that can eat you up inside. I had hope I would make it. I felt I was climbing the ladder to the top. I worked my hardest to get it out. But my ladder had a few extra steps before I reached the top. I made the B team again. Yes, another tantrum of me wanting to quit. But my dad would not let me, so I played. Another year on the B team. Seeing the Stingers wear their bright neon jerseys to school, and I would put a sweatshirt on so people would think I just had my 18th jersey on underneath. The next spring, I had to move up in age bracket, like Katie. Here was my max income, a whole new set of teams and coaches. The results posted online. Scrolling and refreshing, I told my dad there must be a mistake. My name isn't on any team. Panic in my voice. He calls the board, as there clearly was a mistake, looking who had made the team with me. He comes back to me and says the rosters are correct. I had not made any team. Not the A team, not the B team. I had been cut from the soccer program. I did not have to talk or do anything ever again. My father then comes in and says, good news. Not possible, I respond. Coach Wicken said he will take you on this team as a practice member, and you can play in non-league games, no tournaments. My savior, Coach Wicken, he single-handedly helped my soccer career continue, and there are no words to describe how thankful I am for him. I had immediately emailed him with the news I was going to be a captain. His response read, is there any doubt a player on the Ambush team would be a captain of the Cincinnati girls varsity soccer team? And with that, I would like to make it known I am the last standing soccer player from the Ambush team, from the rec team, and the older player who has never made an A team before. With that, you may be able to tell how much I love high school soccer. Making varsity, being named captain, all the adversity I had faced had led to all of my high school soccer success, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Thank you, Dad, for never letting me give up and for teaching me that quitting is never an option. I would not be here without you. Thank you, Mom, for coming to every single one of my games. Sophomore year when you knew I wasn't going to get in the game, to my senior year when you also knew I wasn't going to get in the game. It meant so much to me that you always showed up, even knowing you're going to be watching other daughters play. None of you know what it's like to hear every single name be called by Coach Jarvis to get into the game. And I hated myself for hating how happy you all looked when he said it. Because all I wanted was to hear my name. For him to tell me what my job was when I got on the field. To get the nerves and excitement of the crowd behind you to feel in front of me. But I did not get that. What I did get was patience. I learned patience to wait for when it was going to be my turn next year. And this allowed me to be happy for all of you. I do not by any means want to define my senior soccer season as an ACL tear, because there is so much more to the season than that. I learned a lot about myself and all of my teammates. I love you all so much. I am so glad this injury happened during soccer season because you were the best group of girls I wanted to get. Remember every time one of you helped me, even if you did not know you were doing so. Thank you, Happy, for giving me the best advice through my whole process. You're always looking for me in the huddles. And giving me a hug when what seemed like random times, but you understood when I needed it the most. Thank you for being my inspiration that I was able to play as hard as you did. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for writing me the sweetest letters ever. You gave me so much motivation to show up and made me realize my presence really mattered. Thank you, OJ, for staying with me during the senior night game. When the whole team ran onto the field, you stayed with me on the sideline as I could not celebrate with everyone. And also, thank you for telling me that Coach Jarvis is the type of dad that makes fart noises out. Thank you, Reese, for joining me on the sideline. As much as it killed me to know you were injured and how I know it's going to be all the time, like it did to me, thank you for making the end of my journey not alone.
Thank you, Julian, for staying with me during the Berlin game. When I felt like I was so useless and one of the team's biggest victims. Thank you for playing the weird noise game with me and making me fall off my crutches. You were always singing the National Anthem with me. Thank you, Coach Madison. Thank you for staying with me on the sides during practices and keeping me company. Thank you for telling me about your Friday nights at McDonald's and for convincing me that my injury is a blessing. Thank you, Coach Rachel. Thank you for taking us to Chick-fil-A. Thank you for an amazing first high school season. Especially thank you for live streaming your great Styles house. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for winning every state coin toss with me and for being the best fellow captain. Thank you to Kit. Coach Jarvis. I'm kidding. Kenzie. Thank you for everything. Thank you for making me happy. Thank you for pushing me around to let her finish off the trip. Thank you for belting any and every song with me in the bus. I do not know what I would do without you, because literally no one else on the bus sings. Thank you for giving me the perfect pass on senior night. Thank you for being so happy for me that I got to play. Thank you for laughing at Madison and me. Thank you for telling me that my time is coming. And thank you for being the best friend. I do not know how I could survive without you. And lastly, good luck this season. Coach Jarvis, thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for making this season based on Cobra Kai, my favorite show. And thank you for noticing my soccer abilities. I have worked so incredibly hard to do. Thank you for your attention. I always appreciated how you cared about the game as much as the players did. Thank you for the manual test, because I love running those so much. Thanks for the nickname Walshy. Well, actually, I don't know that. And thank you for loving all of my great styles that I've learned to practice in over the years. And finally, thank you for helping me fulfill my soccer dreams with being on the varsity team. I love you all so incredibly much, and I honestly cannot help that all of you. I will do. Thank you for a great season.
All right, so at this time, we've had a great banquet. It's time to go home. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, parents. Parents, come on up. You want me to finish the conclusion? No?
No.
You want to
Give
come up?
before conclusion. Yeah.
Come
Right?
on. Come
Not
on.
like
Last time. Here we go.
What other one?
Right at the end of the table, May.
We have it. It was hiding. Coach Jarvis, this is for you. Thank you for an amazing season.
All right, so we'll see everybody next fall, hopefully. Good luck.